Okay, Ralph, good morning to you. Just checking if there's any injury news from the last couple of days.
No injuries news, no new ones. Still a few tired players now. So this is the bigger issue. It's very short time to recover, and yeah, we had a very intense game. Run very much more than an opponent, and it was a quite intense game for us. Yeah.
Is your form after the restart and even before that, certainly since the turn of the year, giving you optimism that you can compete higher up the table next season? Perhaps, I mean, you've played Manchester City and Arsenal and Manchester United recently, so nobody can say that the success you've had hasn't come because of an easy run of fixtures.
Yeah, there are no easy fixtures in the Premier League, So we cannot say that we take more points against the bottom teams than against the big teams. We took quite a lot of points also against the big teams. So there is every game hard to win, but there's always a chance. And in the moment, we really do a good job.
Can I ask your thoughts on the overturning of the Manchester City case earlier this week? Does that mean that the future of financial fair play hangs in the balance? And does it send the right message to smaller clubs who have been managing their finances well, like Southampton in the last 7 or 8 years?
I must say that I had the experience with the financial fair play that the rules are very strict. We really struggled in Leipzig with this financial fair play, and I know that we really had to stick very, very harsh to the guidelines. So I trust this tool. We have to, because otherwise we have a problem. I don't know the in and outs of the Man City case, but I still trust this tool because it's important. I think it's an important tool to have a fair competition overall as much as possible. Yeah? And so I don't know the in and outs from this case.
There are reports in Spain in the last 24 hours that you're quite close to signing a central defender, Mohamed Salah from Real Valladolid. Is he a player that you're keen on? Are you aware of him? Is there any truth in it at all?
That's right, that we are looking on this position, but I want to discuss, or I want to agree to these rumors. We have always some players in our mind, and especially in the centre back position is definitely a position we want to do something this summer.
That's me done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Aidan. We'll go to Lindsay at Premier League.
Hi, Ralph. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Lovely. Hi, Ralph. I wanted to start by asking you about Stuart Armstrong. It was a 9th goal of the season for him. I just wondered, in terms of how you've been impressed with how he's developed, and certainly playing alongside Danny Ings in recent games.
Yeah, I just spoke about him, I think 2 weeks ago, when he was really performing well, and he still does it. He had a few problems with injuries last year. So he always, I think it's a big issue for him when he plays a lot of games in a short term, that it's quite likely that he had some problems. But in the moment, he seems really fit. I think he also worked hard in the lockdown, and also there, we also have to pay attention, but I think he gets more and more adapted to this position in the 4-2-2 on the right side. And yeah, he's definitely a player who surprised us all with his finishing, and also he's getting tactically better and better. Still sometimes with little problems against the ball to close early enough, but he's getting better and better. He really adapts his game to our philosophy, and this is what we see it in a very positive way.
I know that a lot will have been made about Danny Ings' goals this season, but I wanted to get a word from you on his assists and the other role that he plays within the team.
Yeah. I think I was never reducing him only to his goal scoring, what he did there all the time. But I know that he's working hard for the team. And when you see the ball win against Pogba on the week on Monday, that was the start of going in the lead. And he's definitely a guy who knows how to press, who knows how to help the team. He's our first defender. Sometimes he's our number 10, and sometimes he's the goal scorer. So definitely a big role he plays in this squad.
This time of year, every single football club is preparing themselves for players leaving and players incoming. Is that where you are at the moment, starting to look ahead and plan ahead?
Yeah, I think every club does it. Sure. I think we have a little bit longer transfer window maybe to face, but for us it's important we don't make so many signings, but the signings we make, they must be perfect, and this is the reason why when you can be earlier, and this season we can do it because we are earliest on the safe side of being part of the Premier League next season. And last year it was different, and then we try to take this advantage and get the right players in just in the right moments.
And next two fixtures, you've obviously got Brighton, but then following that Bournemouth as well. You're staying on the south coast, so not as much travel. Is this a good time for you to potentially experiment a little, try different things?
Yeah, I think we traveled enough the last days. Twice to Manchester or Liverpool was quite a long journey all the time, coming home very late. So now we have 2 games here in this region, but it's okay. We have 3 more games. We are still very motivated to win every game and take as much points as possible. And in the end, yeah, sure, maybe was a chance. I always spoke about that we need every player here, and especially in this very busy period now, it's quite likely that some players get a chance to play more in the next 2-3 games.
And finally, on Brighton, this is a fixture that Southampton have done very well in over the years. Are you confident going into this match?
You know, there's nothing older than the wins from yesterday. Yeah? So in football, you can look on the stats, but they don't really help you to win the game. So it's more important that you push the reset button and know that Manchester and all these games are gone now. It's nice that we took good results, but nobody's interested anymore in these results. We must bring the next one, and especially at home, some more wins would help us to have a better stats as a home team. We made a very good step against Man City, but now we have to keep the quality high at home. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lindsay. Lindsay, we'll go to Adam Blackmore at Radio 7.
It's not working.
Ralph, good morning.
Good morning, Adam.
I like the glasses. Very good. I'm going to put mine on as well, just so we can talk.
I don't see you. That's the problem. Huh? You see mine, but I don't see yours.
Yours are much nicer than mine. Okay. Let's stay with the Brighton theme. I just want your thoughts on the first game against them, because it was a really important match in the season. It was your first win of the season, and it also included you bringing your new signing on and him scoring a wonder goal within 2 minutes. So you must have good thoughts about that back at that time. I
know only that it was a very important game and we were 1 man up after I think 20 minutes or something as a root foul to Jan Valery. And then, yeah, we finally made the first win, after a very difficult start with 2 losses against Burnley and Liverpool. It was an important game, yes, but now the roles are different. Now we have a much more comfortable position if you want, but still a very good opponent, I must say. I really like to watch them playing football. This manager does a fantastic job there. In possession, for me, one of the best teams in the league, to be honest. They have such a good organization with the ball, calm in possession, good decision making, good movements, and fantastic job, I must say.
The last 3 games have been so impressive, not just the performances, but the points tally. 5 points and unbeaten against Man City, Man United and Everton away from home. Now, of course, on paper, 3 more games, the big push to the end of the season, Brighton, Bournemouth and Sheffield United. So what's your first target? What will you be happy with when we get to the end of the Sheffield United game?
Yeah, as I said, we want to take as many points as possible, and we don't want to lose a game anymore. And the results were good. Also, the performance was good, and we can feel that we made some steps in progress, and this is important for the players. So keep the momentum, keep the quality of the games high. We must. Benefit from our fantastic physique we have in the moment. I think this makes some points different. As I said, we we ran 120k on Monday, and that was 7 more than the opponent, and that was necessary because otherwise against such teams you don't have the chance to take something. And this must be also the key for the last games. Yes, I know it would be more difficult now because the more games are coming, the more tired the guys are. But yeah, we will find a good mixture of fresh players and also players they can handle this. And then we must power again, and then we want to do this because this is our style of playing football. This is what we are getting praise for, and yeah, this is what we like to see.
Absolutely. Now, talking about running, one player who doesn't get many headlines, but whose season seems to be getting better and better, Ryan Bertrand, I want to talk about because I thought he was magnificent against Manchester City, again against Greenwood the other night. His block to stop United going 3-1 up was incredible. And his energy up and down the left, I've seen him sprinting 50, 60 yards to press a ball and back again. You know, I know he plays, he told me, to show that he's the best English left back in the Premier League. And I don't see anybody playing better.
Yeah, I think Ryan really enjoys what we are doing here. Yeah? And I know that he has a lot of potential as a left back. And since I'm here, I think he made a really good progress, a really good development in his game. He's coming back to, I haven't seen him before playing, but I know that he was one time part of a Champions League winner. So I know that he has shown and proven that he is a fantastic left back. If he stays hungry and if he stays fit, I think, yeah, he can reach everything. Yeah? So for us, a very important player. And especially when he is really fit and convinced about what he's doing, he is a positive booster for every team.
Thanks for your time, Ralph.
Thanks, Adam. We'll go to Jonathan at Press Association.
Hi there, Ralph. Can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Huh?
Excellent. This is just a quick one. I know you get asked about Kyle Walker-Peters sort of like every time, but there's been reports that he might be used in a swap deal with Højbjerg. Is that something you're aware of, or is it a deal that you would be happy with?
Yeah, we must have a look what is with Kyle for Thursday, because he's not used to play that much games in such a short term, and so we must really have a look on him. Didn't play for nearly a year, and then now so many games in such a short moment. I think Pierre is a very, very smart player. He had played left back for us on the 6, also on the 10, I think, one time for a few minutes. He can also maybe play on the right back. Jan is still injured, so this is also an option for Thursday. Must have a look. It's in general absolutely advantage if you have players. They are flexible and I call it sometimes multi-dimensional, playing on all the positions you need them to play. Prowse is such a player, absolutely. Will shows that he can play 6 and 10. So we have a few players. They are flexible, and this is what you need to be as a modern player, I think.
Yeah, sorry, but just in the transfer market, are those two players that you would be willing to swap?
Yeah, I don't concentrate so much in the moment on the transfer market, to be honest, because I know that we have some targets, but it's such a busy term in the moment. I have to focus so much on the performance for my team and of the opponents that we are facing. That costs a lot of energy in the moment to find the right game plan. You can imagine if you play against teams like Man City and Man United that you need really a nearly perfect game, otherwise you have no chance, and that costs you a lot of preparing, a lot of work, and if you have only 2-3 days in between, it's definitely very busy. But I have other guys, my scouts are giving me some informations and stay in contact with the players that are interesting for us, with the agents that are interesting for us. So we are busy in the background, but not more.
Thank you.
Morning, Ralph. Just if I could follow up on Ryan Bertrand, he's obviously sort of gone under the radar, the fact he's got less than a year left on his contract. All the focus has been on Pierre's contract. What's the latest with Ryan's contract? Will he get a new one? Do you want him to stay?
Yeah, also this things we didn't discuss so far. I think we know that he's a fantastic left back. Yeah, he must have targets, still be part normally of the international for England. I think because he plays so fantastic in the moment and has absolutely the potential to do this, and it will help him to come in this position. As always, we have to see that he's not the youngest one. We know that, especially the older players, we're a little bit longer waiting for extending the contracts, like we did with Longy. We were always convinced about him that he's part of our club, but yeah, we must always. It must be a good mixture in the team, and a little bit experience absolutely necessary, no doubt. Especially when you have a experienced player that is still open-minded, learns very quick, and I think the new stuff we do here, Ryan showed as a perfect example how quick you can adapt to this, how quick you can learn new things, and even if the hard disk has some information on, so it's enough space for new things, and I'm very yeah. So not surprised. It was good to see that also an old player can learn this, and I think he likes the way we play. Absolutely, being on the jump, defending forward, being brave, show that we can compete with the big teams. This is why he's maybe the most consistent defender we have in this season.
In a roundabout way, do you reckon it's actually benefited you and your team that his contract is winding down, because he's almost hungrier to prove that, well, I deserve to be here, so I'm going to give him an extra 20%.
To be hungry, this is always good. The hungry we hard to hunt. It's always hungry to be hungry when you to show good performances. I think this is for a footballer always good. I think it gives you, I think, a little bit more drive.
And just finally from me, you've obviously mentioned that the three teams you've just played and players tend to raise their performance levels. How do you ensure that your team don't drop their levels now? Perhaps on paper the games are a little bit easier.
Because we will keep them sharp with maybe also a few changes. There are some good lads waiting for their chance and training hard the last days and last weeks, and also hoping to get a chance to play. And I think in the next two games there will be quite likely that we have some opportunities for these players also.
Thank you, Ralph. Good luck for Thursday night.
Yeah.
We'll go to Tom Barkley at the Sun.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
Just back to Ryan. I think Bernardo Silva of Man City the other day said Ryan was his hardest opponent this season, which really sort of sums up what a great season he's had. You mentioned that he should be looking potentially a possible England recall. But with only 1 year left on his contract, do you worry that even at despite being age 30, he's showing such form that if you don't get him signed up, that other clubs may be interested?
You know, I'm always scared about players playing well in our team being interesting for others. But this is our job. This is our This is our situation we have to live with all the time. I think this is normal for us as a club. We are a developing club, and we develop players that are young, but we also develop players that are a little bit older. And if they then outperform, and another club comes and says he's interesting for us, then we cannot stop them going there. This is normal for us. But anyway, I think the players know what they have with us, and if a big club comes and want to sign them, we have even no chance. Even if he has a contract, we have no chance to compete with them. So, but this is not a problem. I think this is for us part of the business. We are a developing club, and we develop players, and sure. Would not be easy. It would be a step back when he suddenly has an offer from somebody else and wants to leave. But so we are not that far, I think, and we know that we at first have to finish the season, and then we will have a look what happens.
And I think he did an interview with Sky maybe before the football came back, where he was talking about wanting to be a director of, or potentially wanting to be a director of football when he retires, which is not something you hear much from players. They often talk about wanting to go into coaching or being managers, but it's something a bit different. I just wanted to know what he's like as a character, because that sort of suggests that he maybe thinks a bit differently compared to your typical footballer.
I think he's a strong character because he knows exactly what he wants to do. I think he has a big knowledge about football. He has a lot of experience made in his entire career. He's smart, and definitely, has a lot of options maybe in the future to do something in football. Absolutely. For me, in the moment, it's more important that he concentrates on his real job, that is being good on the pitch. But I think he was always very critical with what happens around him, and not so easy to convince this guy. But I think if you have him on your side, and if you see that he sticks to your plan and he's convinced about what you're doing, then he's absolutely positive booster for everything. Man, that's important. He needs to get some good inputs, and when he gets this, then you can be sure that he pays back.
And just finally, we were speaking to Graham Potter yesterday ahead of this game for his press conference, and he was very complimentary about yourself. He ranked you as one of the top 3 performers from a manager point of view this season for the way that you responded to the Leicester defeat. First of all, what do you make of that? And also, what have you made of Graham Potter? Because it's not very often English coaches go abroad and sort of make their name like he did. He had the sort of bravery to do it. I know it's very common for non-English managers to do it like yourself, but it doesn't happen that often for English managers.
Yeah, but I must only give the praise back, to be honest, because as I said before, I really enjoy watching them playing football. For me, he is one of the in possession best managers in the league. Really, you can see his signing on the team immediately when you see them playing. The job he did there since he's there is fantastic, and I only give for me, he's in possession one of the best in the league, and he made a different way. I think this is maybe the reason why he's so focused on this playing with the ball, and definitely not the worst thing in a manager's career if you get influenced from different football cultures and get everything what you can learn, take it, because we never stop learning. And I think this was also for me to come here in the Premier League, one of the very interesting things to get new impacts of other managers, what they're doing and everything. I had a very good development in the Bundesliga with a fantastic club with Leipzig and Ingolstadt, and we learn always, and we never stop learning. And I think to go somewhere else to learn new things, it's always good.
Thank you, Ralph.
Thanks, Tom. We'll go to Carl at The Athletic.
Hello.
Hi, Ralph. I thought I should join you. Put my glasses on.
Yeah, I see you better now. You're so small here on the top. So,
I want to talk a little bit about your comments recently about possession. So after the game against Manchester United, Sky Sports mentioned how it was good you had more possession than Manchester United, and you said you weren't exactly complimentary. You said it's not particularly your way. What was better was the fact you did something with possession. You talk a lot about how your team is all about what they do without the ball. Do you think you're getting better with it?
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, it was the first game where I was really convinced about what we do in possession, because I don't like so much this possession stuff when you're in the own half and take a lot of risk to build up and don't come really forward. I think there's too much risk for too less benefit. Yeah, but when you find a good balance like we did against Man United, to keep them running, but still focus to come behind them, to come behind the lines, to create chances, I think then I like the possession stuff really much. And I was the first time really convinced about what we have done in possession. Yeah? My centre backs were very calm, attacked the space, tried to speed up the game with short switches and everything. So it was definitely In possession, I think the best game since I'm here, and I can definitely see a big progress in this part of our game. What is interesting for me is why this happens in the moment. I think we have a few points they are responsible for this. The one thing is, I think, yeah, we are safe now. We have 45 points now, so there's no relegation battle like in the last years. Yeah, this is definitely something that pulls on your nerves. The second thing is we have no crowd in the stadium. It's definitely different if you play back to the goalkeeper and there are 40,000 mooning about that, or you get it's a risky pass and they are then you get more pressure. I think, yeah, this is definitely something. So the message was for us, we have time to improve now. We have time to develop it. So let's do it in the preseason, because the next games give us the chance to work on this. And when you have once done it, then it's maybe easier later when the fans are coming back in the stadium. You are used to it, and then you have to take the step in a way, in the best moment you can take it. And that's the reason why we were focused on this. And yes, I was always a manager who was very good organized against the ball, with pressing and everything. But you never stop learning, as I said. And for me, it's also a good things to see how you can handle the risk and still develop a game. And in the moment, I must say, I really enjoy them watching playing football.
Southampton suddenly look a lot more confident now. There was a couple of mistakes in Manchester United game, but your defence especially seemed to just bounce back, put it to one side, and go at it again. Do you think your team is getting more resilient?
I think against such teams, you see the big quality they have in front, and if you are not 100%, there where you have to be in position and defend together, then you have no chance to defend it. We still conceded 3 goals in the last 2 games, so still not happy about that. Never happy. It cannot stop everything. So against such an opponent, against Man City, we gave them much more shots away on target from the opponent, but what we didn't concede a goal. So it's always a little bit lucky sometimes, and how much you throw in every ball. But in the end, we didn't give Man United that many chances, I think, and this was also a very positive thing. Yeah.
And one more question from me, if I may ask. There have been a lot of Fulham fans recently talking up Harrison Reed. He's got around about 3 or 4 man matches in their Project Restart games. Very talented central midfielder on loan from Southampton. Have you been keeping tabs of him? Could he be coming in, playing as one of your pivots soon?
We are always focusing on our players that are on loan, and very happy when they perform well. Harry is definitely a player who also showed here that he is normally perfect for our philosophy, because he's definitely a very aggressive player against the ball. He can win balls, and also with the ball has a lot of qualities there. And this is important for us to see how he develops and how good he makes.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Ian at Reach.
Hi Ralph, good to see you.
Hello.
Speaking all the way from Newcastle. Forgive me if you've been asked these questions before, but tomorrow night, Danny Ings can make it 20 Premier League goals for the season. Quite an achievement. He's the only striker outside the top 6 club in the top 10 leading goal scorers. Just, can you, in your own words, how big an achievement is that for someone playing for Southampton to hit 20 and to be competing there with the top sides?
Yeah, I think, as you said, he never scored a penalty. He always scored in the game, and not for one of the big clubs or for the international clubs. So for Southampton, it shows the fantastic season he played this year. So it was really unbelievable performance what he did, and what I like the most of him is that you never feel that he's this special player anymore for us, because he behaves the same. He's still with the young lads, no group, always happy to go on the pitch, always wants to play, also on Thursday. And yeah, it's normal. Right now he wants to get the 20, and yeah, the good thing is that he never stops working hard, and I think this is why. And he definitely changed a few behaviors in his game, a few automatism we worked on coming more and more. And when you bring him more and more in the position where he can score, yeah, then you know he has a fantastic finish.
The second question, you mentioned earlier, Ralph, that you ran a collective 120k at Old Trafford the other night, which was 7 more than Manchester. I mean, that's a phenomenal statistic. Do you regularly outrun the opposition? And what special training do you do? Because, as I say, I think the average is about 110 and 108, 112 in the Premier League. Very few teams reach that amount. Is that the norm for you?
Yeah, so to the first question, yes, we try to run more than the opponent, because I think for us it's sometimes the only chance to be competitive and to win games. It's not a guarantee, but it rises the chances. We were speaking also in Leipzig a lot about negative and positive sprints, and the more positive sprints you make in that direction and press early, I think the less you have to sprint back to your goal, and this hurts definitely also. And if you ask the players after the game, yes, they invest a lot, but they didn't feel that it was so hard, because when you sprint positive, then you have a positive feeling. We had a very good preseason with players that were coming back from the lockdown in a good shape, because they knew if they want to play, if they want to have a chance to play, then they must be in a physical top position. And yes, they worked hard. This was important to see. And then we had 3 weeks of preparing for the games. We had one game where we didn't run more than the opponent. It was against Arsenal. You know the result. And the rest of the games we invested more. And yeah, that was the reason why we deserved to get something.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, with Adrian at the mail.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
Hi, Ralph. I just wanted to ask you about the running numbers as well. How do they compare generally now to what was going on when you took over? So how much fitter and how much more running are you getting out of the players?
Much more, yes. But you have to get used to it, you know. We have definitely the players on the pitch. They can show this, and if not, then they get earlier subs. Because yeah, you're sure this is important, because it's no problem for me when a striker hits 60 minutes the maximum and then he's finished. Then I can bring a few fresh guys from the bench. It's also okay. It's not a problem for me, because I know that they have to do an unbelievable hard job there in front. And this is and you see Ings I think the first year he was always subs after 60, 70 minutes, and now he plays maybe three games a week and nearly 90 minutes. I don't have the feeling that I have to sub him anymore. Mm-hmm. So definitely he's on a much better physical level like that he was before. And yeah, this is important for our game, for our being part of the net all the time, never rest, and the ball is on the other side of the pitch, you have to close and everything. So it is definitely an intense game. Football developed massively, and if you have not the highest one against one individual quality on every position, then you have to have other things. And if you have this, then you're also strong.
There's obviously a physical part to being able to get the players to run like that. I just wondered about the mental side. Is there work you've had to do and the kind of mindset side to get them in the right frame of mind to adapt to the methods that you wanted to change?
I think the problem was more than to keep it always on a high level and not sending the wrong signals. And we did send wrong signals in the beginning of the season, because we defended deeper, were more passive, and this is not our game. We tried to find them back after the non-successful October, September, to our philosophy, to our identity, and this definitely helped us. And the most important thing as a player is, I think, that you are convinced about what you're doing. If you feel that there is, you wake up in the morning on a match day and you feel it doesn't work, it's not good. In the moment, I think the guys woke up and saying, oh, okay, let's have a look. We know that we can be nasty for them, and then go there and play good football.
And I guess a game like the Manchester United game on Monday, is that sort of a really good one to help, further convince them, because, you get the result, you get the result and the rewards for the effort that they're putting in. And that's probably one of the hardest games Manchester United have had for a long time, Monday night.
Yeah, sure. When you play against a team in form and especially a start like this, where you have the feeling they couldn't handle it. They didn't know what to do against us. We were everywhere and had scored immediately. And then, yes, it's definitely something that gives you a lift. Sure, you are convinced about it. You feel on the pitch if it's working or not. But yeah, this is not a guarantee for taking wins. In the end, it's the most important thing to get the results. And in the last 3 games, you also get some good results. Still can get more because we draw twice. So yeah, we can still also win these games. And I think this is also possible. We showed against Man City, and we could also win the Man United game, I think. So we are still not happy about taking a point there. I think we are still hungry to get more and more. And we have to, because we are, I think, 12th in the league, or 11th or 12th. I think. There's a lot of space to climb. Yeah?
Thanks very much, Ralph. Cheers. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adrian. If there are no further questions, we will wrap things up there, guys. I'll go back to Carl.
Hi, Ralph. One further question. Just about Jake Vokins very quickly. I know we've had a lot of conversation about Ryan Bertrand, and I just want to know how is the other left back at Southampton doing?
Yeah, he's performing well in the sessions and waiting for his chance. And when the chance comes, I'm sure that he will show us that he is competitive. Learned a lot, I think, since he's training with us, working with us every day. He's a good lad, physically strong, can run up and down. He's also with the ball, yeah, good player. And yeah, when he had one chance against Huddersfield, I think he scored. And yeah, this is he must wait for this chance, but when chance comes, then he will grab it, I'm sure.
Is there a similar situation with Angus Gunn as well?
Yes, Angus, I think it was a little bit unlucky. He played definitely in a period of the season where we didn't perform well, and this was not easy for him in this moment to be part of this team. It was a little bit a pity for him, I think. We will have a look if we give him another chance to play in this season. Alex does a fantastic job in the moment. Developed his game in every part with the ball and also stopping. So let's have a look. I haven't decided yet.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Go to Tom at the Telegraph.
Yeah. Hello.
You're on mute, Tom.
Hi, Ralph. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Apologies. Yeah. Given the physical intensity of the way your team plays, Ralph, is it slightly frustrating that Brighton have a bigger break between matches than you do?
Yes. I mean, we have to handle the schedule. When did they play? I don't know it. Sunday?
Saturday, I think.
Okay. 2 days more. Yeah. This is definitely something that is not perfect for us, but no alibis, please. Not before the game. It's definitely not perfect. 2 days are massive different. And yeah, this is the next reason why we will have a few changes, maybe because yeah, definitely. You know, we play intense, and this intensity to bring 3 days later is not always easy. But it's a little bit also the mindset. And we have a few players that can handle this, and a few players they have a little bit more progress with this.
And just finally, very quick one from me, Ralph. Obviously, not in a position to talk about specific targets or anything like that, but you mentioned centre-back might be an area of the squad that you would look to strengthen. Which other areas are there, do you think, positions where you might need a bit more depth potentially?
Yeah, I think on the fullback positions, I think we had with Kyle a lone player, and was a lot of times injured. And yeah, this is definitely not we lost Cedric in the winter, and yeah, so we will look for these two positions. We must be a little bit bigger in the squad. We have a lot of games next season also, and this is definitely a position where we also have not that many options in the academy. So we don't want to block any players from the academy to give them also a chance to develop, like Will and Alex Jankovic and Nathan Teller. So, but on some positions we don't have that many players, and then we must have a look there.
Many thanks, Ralph. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot.